My name is Thomas Mundia. I am the Director of Coaching at Strathmore Business School. I am also a trained facilitator in the Program for Family Development, which are programs that provide family courses in marriage and parenting. I have a postgraduate in marriage, education and family from the University of Catalonia, Spain. I think one of the things we need to ask ourselves is, are we addressing the real issue? Let me use an analogy I like using. There's a mental institution in Scandinavian countries that puts people through a test for you to be discharged from the mental institution. It puts you in a room, gives you a mop and a bucket, puts on the tap and watches what you will do. So if you continue mopping, that means you remain a candidate to still remain in the mental institution. But should you go and close the tap and then start mopping, it's an indication that you're ready to be discharged. Why do I use this analogy? Many times, unfortunately, we are dealing with the fruits and never get to the root. So it's not that this narrative or this discussion should stop, but I think we need to change the approach in which we look at. For a long time, we blame young people. And we forget that the young people are simply mirroring our society. These young people come from homes, go through an education system, they have role models they see every day on the media. So to go around attacking them and because of the parties that they're involved in, I think is where we go wrong. And we lose out from an opportunity for us to engage them differently. And to probably start asking them and finding out what really causes them to seek these forms of entertainment. And because when we begin that, we begin a different discussion. I've mentioned a couple of stakeholders that are key in the success of young people. Remember, young people first and foremost belong to a family. So I'm very big that we need to look at first at home. How can we as a family create an environment that listens to the young person, doesn't brush them aside, listens to their needs, because they're different, they're unique. These young people are in a space that their parents were not in, so you can't apply the same measures you used then for them. They are more in touch with technology, appreciating that, even being more conversant, even as parents, in what our young people are watching and listening. But being able to at least appreciate, you know the first thing young people would want is just to be noted and appreciated that they are different and respected for that difference and their uniqueness. They are not to be treated the same way as other people. When you begin that, you begin dialogue for young people. Secondly, even at the home level, it's important that we start asking ourselves, what kind of examples have we shown our young people? As a parent, if I'm working, what do they see? What do I model? Do I model hard work? Do I model commitment, faithfulness to what I do? It's a beginning place. Sometimes it's not big things that we need to do, it's just small little things that begin. For young people that are already in situations where they need certain support, specialized services, the government needs to see ways to ensure, again, that they are providing these services to young people to support them in the challenges they are facing. I've talked about other players, and especially the education system. For me, I'm very big on this because think about it, where do young people spend most of their time? It's actually in school. So again, from the schools play a very key role. We need to rethink and ask ourselves, what place do we give to character formation in our curriculum, in our role modeling as teachers, as headmasters? If young people are seeing embezzlement, for example, in a school, what will stop them from also seeking the same shortcuts? So in the school system, how can we rethink? How can we engage the young people to also be part of this journey of reviewing the curriculum? We bombard them and expect them to produce results, but maybe that's not what young people need. Young people are very smart, very resourceful. We've got to understand that. And the people, once engaged, they take ownership and can be very useful contributors to this journey. So I think it's the narrative that needs to change. Look at the church the same way, and also the same thing. Modeling around good role playing, messaging that is relevant, messaging that really speaks to the needs and circumstances of young people. The government has to remember and play its rightful place. The government has to remember that it is a complement to those institutions that I've mentioned. They do not usurp the primary role of educating young people. Theirs is simply to provide a conducive environment policies, legislation that ensures that the main players of forming young people are doing their role. That is the family, that is the church, those are our schools. And once we do that, we begin the discussion. And I think a lot of it is looking at and reversing the way the situation has been right now and starting a different conversation, a more positive and a more engaging conversation with young people, because they are a big chunk of our population right now. And unless we start talking with them, not to them, then the chances of us being able to harness their great resources become very diminished.